Good morning, it's Barbara. Oh, look how dusty my thing is. I guess I'll have to clean that. Meanwhile, this is practically balmy. It was 10 degrees when I came down to get my coffee, and Dennis said it was 8 degrees when he took the dogs out in the wee hours of the morning. So, yeah, cold. Good morning, it's Barbara. Thank you for joining me for coffee. It's my second cup. Let's see, I'm wearing my new turtleneck. I got a couple new turtlenecks from Bean, so they're really yummy cotton. All right, I'm putting on lip stain today. Guess I'm gonna do the darker one. This isn't the part of the show. This is the part of the show that's the beauty channel. Yeah. So this is the lip stain from Wonder Skin that Christy got me, so I could wear lipstick-ish while I was knitting with mohair, because as many of you probably already know, lip gloss and mohair are not a good combination. Holy cow, this is a terrible job. Well, maybe this is just telling me talking while I'm doing this isn't the best plan. So, anyway, I decided to do this today. I have no idea why. Now I don't mush my lips together like I do with lipstick, Christy reminded me. And you leave it on here for 40 seconds or something. So I'm at 217. So yesterday, it was our tree. This is the gizmo on our tree, said it was 24, but our car said it was 19. So I'm not sure if this 15 is correct, because I think we need a new battery on the sensor on the tree. So, it's cold out there. The only thing I did, the only thing I did yesterday was I took a walk with the dogs, but that's not true because we shoveled yesterday. So we had to clear our driveway. It's not, down to the black exactly, but it's very clear and drivable. All right, so now I'm going to take this off. So this purple stuff, every time I do this, Dennis is like, oh, I'm not sure about that color. The granddaughters love this. They do their lips every time they come with the Now I did exfoliate my lips a little bit this morning, but my lips are so bad it takes more than one exfoliation. You can see the line there. It's from now this doesn't come off. And now I have, as I used to say when I was a kid, lipstick. Anyway, good morning. So, that color that I just put on is called Divine. And I will be putting on chapstick because it's not all my lip biting. So anyway, so I shoveled yesterday. I helped Dennis. He did most of the work, but I helped. And yeah. And then we walked the dogs. We were the only ones there, and we were the first in the parking lot, so on top of all the snow. So we left a little early No, that was the day before. We went at normal time. The day before we went a little early because it was snowing, but yesterday the snow was done. So I did a lot of thinking about my Montrealer yesterday. I got the pattern out and I read the instructions for the hood. And I have apologies to my former self because I sat here yesterday and said, oh, I must have been, foggy brain, blah, blah, blah. I didn't do it, and I just did my own hood for Isabel's Montrealer. Well, I might have been foggy brained. And I was, I had the beginning of the row in the wrong place. But the reality is, I read that pattern yesterday, and that is a friggin' complicated hood pattern, hood design. And I'm like, you have got to be kidding. Honey, if you want me to knit that hood, you better give me a damn good picture of it so I can see that it's worth all that work, because it's a lot of work. And I went on to the Ravelry page and I looked at the pictures. There's only one that has sort of a semi-good picture of the hood, and it looks beautiful and it fits beautifully. But I'm like, I am not doing that. So it wasn't that I was necessarily that I was foggy brained and had a mistake going last time. It's a complicated hood. And I'm like, I am not doing that. So Isabel and I are going to have matching hoods. Although I might do some shaping in the back to not come to like the total point. But I might, because there's something charming about that point. So, So I did a lot of thinking about my hood yesterday, and I realized that it's ridiculous for me to knit a hood on this sweater that I am pretty sure I am not going to enjoy wearing. I love this handspun, don't get me wrong. I love, love, love it. But I know that I'm not going to want it around my face and around my neck. And yesterday I was sitting here digging around in my bag, and I pulled out those two skeins of yarn that I had been thinking about using as the stripes before I settled on using that beautiful handspun. So I'm like, the answer to this is staring me in the face. I am making my hood out of those lovely yarns. One of them is Chili Knits. I don't know what the other one is. Maybe it's in my bag. I don't know. I found a needle, picked up the stitches while they were on waste yarn, and I started my hood. Is it gonna match? No. I mean, I can picture myself possibly putting in some stripes of the handspun higher on the head where my hair will cover it, and I don't think it will make me itchy. So the sweater is this and the hood is that. I have that little bit of the Cormo. This is the Cormo, right? I think it's the Cormo. Yeah. Left. I showed it to you yesterday, and the outside of the hood has you pick up and knit a little thing and fold it over, and then you put your cord through that. That I'm going to make in the Cormo. So the string will go through a Cormo channel. Now I had gotten that I had thought that I would put a strand or two of the cashmere in with this to make it yummy, but this cashmere, I have always thought of this cashmere as teal, but even to my eye, it now is looking very blue. Very blue. It's a brighter blue on the camera than it is in person, but it's like a dusty royal blue. So I decided not to. I thought I needed it for the bulk of the yarn, I decided then to do 3 strands of this fingering. And I did a couple rows with 3 strands, and it seemed like it was too thick, so I dropped one of the strands. So I'm doing 2 strands of fingering, and I'm doing a hood very similar to Isabel's. And I'm doing it in this beautiful, yummy fabric that's going to feel great on my head. And it doesn't match the stripes on the sweater, and I don't care. I'm a little sorry that I finished the whole body and didn't put in like one last stripe of this in this to kind of bring it together, but I'm not going to worry about it. And this is going to be yummy on my head. And this sweater is going to be a favorite rotation. I would be wearing it now if I had made this decision a week ago, but Berliner toy. But I didn't, and I'm not. But I did find this yesterday in the drawer. I'm like, holy cow, I haven't had that, but I'm wearing it today. This is my super bulky grandpa sweater by Joji Locatelli. This sweater, I knit this sweater between episode 1 and episode 2 of my podcast. We went on vacation to the Outer Banks, and I knit this sweater in a week while we were at the Outer Banks. That was back when I was doing a weekly podcast rather than a every couple of years podcast, which I'm not really podcasting, am I? It's been so long since I podcasted that I don't even feel guilty about it anymore. That's a while. Anyway, so that's what this is. So I worked on my Montreal yesterday. I did not work on my Trove because I got the urge to read again. So I watched Vera with Aura, and when Dennis made us a fire, it was such a lovely evening. And then Aura went up, and I decided to read. I had taken several books out of the library. I told you the other day, a week ago, maybe, that I was knitting, watching some YouTube, and I watched this guy. I don't know who he is. I don't even subscribe to him, I don't think. But he's like the 10 best historical novels and the 10 best murder mysteries. I watched those too. And I think this book was on his list. And I had my eye on it before, and it's called A Gentleman in Moscow. And I wrote this down so I could tell you, by Amor Towles, A-M-O-R is his first name or her first name, Towles, T-O-W-L-E-S. And it's such a simple premise that it's hard to imagine that it's a interesting book, but it is. It's great. The premise is this takes place, it starts in like 1923 or something. And a count had been living in the Metropole Hotel for like 4 years. He had come back during the Revolution, and he was living in the Metropole Hotel. Now, Dennis and I saw the Metropole Hotel. We didn't go in it, but it's right there in the middle of everything, right across the street from the Bolshoi, 2 blocks from the Kremlin. It's right there in the middle of Moscow, and it's still there. And anyway, so this guy had been living in the Metropole Hotel, and he got brought in by what is the precursor to the KBG, and he was questioned, and because he was a count, and for whatever reason they decided that he was somewhat of a danger to society, but they exiled him, internal exile, to the Metropole Hotel, and he had to live and stay in the the hotel, and if he stepped foot outside the hotel, he would be arrested. So, and they moved him from his lovely, gorgeous suite to room in the attic. And so he was living in this room in the attic in this hotel. And this story takes place, I'm halfway through it, and it's been 10 years, and he's still living in this hotel, and sort of, so it's people he's encountered and situations in the hotel, but also him, you know, being reminded of his past life. So you learn, you know, something about the life of the Russian nobility prior to the Bolshevik revolution. Anyway, I'm really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying it on a level that I haven't necessarily been enjoying my murder mysteries or whatever. I'm just really enjoying it. And I put it down. I'm halfway through. It's a big book. My mysteries are very small books, which is why I can read 2 of them in a day. This is not a small book, and I only got halfway through it yesterday. And I'm looking forward to finishing it today, which means I won't be doing a lot of knitting. I take that back. Kim is coming today. So if I'm sitting here chatting with Kim, I'll be knitting. Obviously, I won't be reading. So anyway, I recommend this book. I'm enjoying it immensely. And it was a lovely, calm read. And sort of hit the spot for me, which is really interesting. So I slept well last night. I'm feeling good. I felt better yesterday. I started my hood, which made me feel good. And shoveled, and so got a few things done, and it felt good. Are you waiting to make your coffee?
No, I'm
playing with your dog. Dennis makes noise when he makes his coffee, so he sometimes waits for me to pause or whatever. Today, what I'm doing is I'm going to the post office. I'm going to mail Christy her scarf and her pom-pom, or her tassel, and something else that I had for her that she left behind. And not the picture, Chris. Not the photograph in the frame. And that's what I'm going to do today. I am going to start making some lists of things that I need to do in my executrixing and trusteeing that I have. So making a list is going to help me figure out exactly what I need to do, and I need to write an email or 2. So I have a few things to do today. Kim is coming, so that'll be nice to have company and visit with her for a little while. And get this hat sent to Christy because it's cold in Mississippi. It's cold everywhere here in North America. That's not true. It might not be cold in California, but east of the Mississippi, we're getting cold. Apparently there was snow in the south. People are like, you know, for those people who don't know how to drive in snow, which is a lot of people if they grew up in the south, they don't get a lot of snow down there. It's like you should be driving like your grandmother's holding a big pot of soup on a hot soup on her lap, which I thought was pretty funny. But yeah. So anyway, I'm going to the post office and taking care of a couple things there, and then I will be home. We'll be walking the dogs. Luckily, I have a lot of knitwear. And Dennis and I were talking about the covers on our bed this morning, and it made me think, you know, I need to start doing a little crocheting because we need our blanket that I'm in the middle of, and I'm not even in the middle of. But I might be a quarter of the way done. That could be a quarter of the way done. So I just need, you know, oh, maybe I'll work on my blanket while I talk to Kim. No, I won't. I want that hood done. I want that hood. I want this sweater. I want this sweater for sure. So I will work on my hood when Kim is here. And I will read my book in the quiet of the evening tonight. Maybe not even finish it. And, you know, 3 days on the same book. Who am I? We'll see. I'll probably finish it. I am who I am. All right. Well, that's it. But I'm feeling better today. I really am. And Not looking forward to going out in the Arctic air, but I am looking forward to getting that hat mailed to Christy. Oh, I better check it. It might need to have, you know, ends woven in. I'll be doing that before I go to the post office. I guess I'll be going to the post office later this afternoon. I can weave in ends while Kim is here too. All right, I gotta go. Please take good care of yourselves. Oh, let me put some. Let me put some lip oil. I got this, I've told you a million times, when I went shopping with the grandchildren at the makeup store. Yeah, I got to use that exfoliant a lot more. There you go. I gotta go. Please take good care of yourselves. Please, please, please. Stay safe and stay sane.